Um, so I'm live in both places now, and that works out well for right now. It just took me about a half an hour to get here, which is not the end of the world, but I hope that you are over here. Um, I'm just doing a quick little call out to see what I can see on this. It's interesting because they changed the how this works. So, hi Stacy, how are you? What? Are you talking to me, Bear? Okay. So for some whatever reason it's not working the way I would like it to work, but that's going to be okay. Everything's going to be just fine. It's all going to work out. And after this, I'll restart my computer so that I'm ready to go for tomorrow and do some tests run tomorrow. I'm going to try and see if my friend, uh, a medium, I'm actually going to try the format of interviewing her and see, and see how that goes. We have, it would kind of be fun though, right? To like see another, it'll be fun to see how, and I think it'll be fun to see another medium get interviewed and what they're doing. She is in the Detroit area. I think it's a two name, like Ann Arbor is two names. Where is she at? I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I can't. That's kind of crazy that I can't remember what the place that she is at. Um, I'm hoping that everybody has a journal, and I'm wanting to know if anybody did the exercise that I asked you to do yesterday, where you meditated and were able to, or were asking for your guides, or um, to work in the clairsentient realm to see how you've affected other people and what those ripples were like. I was wondering if anybody had done that. Has anybody done that? Anybody over at YouTube? Hi, YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I clicked something wrong. Dearborn. Yeah, it's funny. Zara, you're funny. You're way up there in Canada, and you're like, at Dearborn Heights. She is maybe in that area. It's even something further away. I want to be Huntington Woods. That's where she is. Lots of two-name places, actually. That's kind of interesting. So, one of the things I was going to jump in and just really talk about where we're at and how everybody's doing. Um, Oh, you didn't write it down, but Sarah, would you want to share what that was? That was pretty cool. I'm glad to hear that you did that. Um, so, so here's the thing: is that when you work with me, either as in mediumship and as a coaching person, or in a place where we're working, you don't, and this is true in all like realms, but it's also true in the metaphysical, and I think it's hard to kind of wrap your mind around, because you want to know, like, of course you see spirit, everything that's happening to me, you should be able to come and intervene and do something immediately, but it doesn't work that way. Actually, in this realm particularly, let's make sure that we're not, like, we have our human minds trying to understand this human reality that is in a deeply, deeply all metaphysical. So we have this thing that we're trying to figure out. You can't figure this out. And you're really not supposed to. You're only like, you can't figure out, you're not going to know the meaning of life. You're not going, it's always going to be an endlessly, like, before you know it. Okay, so we go back to when Cork, the guy, he found Cork, and that's how they begin to understand that cells really worked out in the world was because of cork. So, and then it went from cork to cell membranes, from cell membranes to all the alleles and the organelles that are inside the cell. Like it's just unveiling to protons and neutrons to then quarks and semi-quarks and physics then to down to quantum physics. But this, what I'm getting here is, you see where I'm getting? The more that you try and keep trying to understand what's happening in this world, the more questions you get on how, why, when, where. What if you relied more on your clairs? And we did start talking about clairs yesterday: clairsentient, clairaudience, clairvoyant, clair gustinance. Um, there's another clair out there, I can't remember. Um, what if you depended on your clairs more than you did on your senses that you're having in your body right now? Because we look around and we look as if we are in peril. There's this the illusion of a total annihilation and destruction. Maybe not total, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like that there's some annihilation and destruction and a lot of worry out there right now. But what I want to say is, you can have worry. My dog is barking now. I bet you can hear that. Rue. You can have worry. You can have uh you could have this thing happening around us, which is happening around us, but it is about you being in this world and understanding, like everybody doing their part. I love how it's said that way. Um, sorry, how it's said that way. Like everybody's doing their part to take care of what's going on in the world right now, and doing your part is staying home, staying away from other people, being thoughtful about other people's health conditions, and being thoughtful about other people's underlying issues that you may not know anything about. And it's interesting because that to me is a really nice parallel into group mediumship idea, right? So when I do group mediumship, I say you never know what is happening to anybody around you. You don't know. You The only person who is going to receive messages are the people that are supposed to, and the ones that receive messages, you never know how desperate their messages really are for their receipt. The same here. You never know anybody's underlying issues. It's kind of amazing how there's so many metaphors that kind of work together in our lives to show us what's happening metaphysically. I hope that makes sense. Um, it's such an interesting little. It's like everything. I'm going to see if this works as we're sitting here. See, they did change something. Okay, so I do need to talk to that just for a second, and I'm making that even lower. Well, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. I'm curious what kind of metaphysical questions you guys have out there for this virus, if there's any. I know it's kind of annoying because I've fallen off of here a couple of times. Hey P, can you grab my phone, pretty please? Oh, it's still over there. And I don't even know if I'm live anymore. So if I'm live, please tell me. If you see me. It is? Are you watching right now, Pipes? Okay, no, it looks like we're still live, and it looks like I'm not seeing any comments. So again, I don't understand that about this. Zara, you're so sweet. um, it's just it's not really giving me a lot of feedback. Okay, we can see you. Everybody can see you. Okay, all right, great. So I'm just gonna put that here because maybe I'll see your comments. Ooh, are you a recreational therapist? Recreational, I don't know what that means. I am a spirit coach. I call myself a I do spirit one-on-one spirit coaching where we try and apply metaphysical principles to issues that are happening in people's lives so that or the coaching clients' lives so that we can really thank you, Shelley. I just saw that. So that we can really conquer the issues that are happening and get to the root of it. Yeah, it's interesting because now I want to make this a really. I guess we're going to be going on to like this. Now a whole bunch of comments jumped up. That's just the kind of the way it works. It's the. Um, are you a? Hi Tammy. I just saw that you popped up. That's really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going. How about that? So we can't in this world think that the spirit's just going to show up and take care of everything. It's not this not the type of world we live in. We actually live in a world where you have to mind what's happening and not um what do you say, like not be in the deepness of fear, not be in its clutches of fear. Because what happens when you get into fear, it's very hard to get out of it, and fear just begets more fear and more fear and more fear until you're finding in this runaway tunnel where you're not being able to pull yourself back from that because it doesn't fear is a master. It is a master at what it does. So what I want to offer is that as you're in this world, that you really work to um, and I want to say it's in duplicity. It's not duplicity at all, actually. It's not duality to say that there is this thing happening and I need to kind of follow but what the scientists are saying of staying home and not it's not time to be going out and on a ton of dates and kissing a bunch of people and trying to and hang out with them because one of the things that's going to be happening is you're going to get sick and you have to watch over your body. Now, there will be the question of why does spirit have these things happen? I will argue fervently that spirit doesn't have any of these happen. And in the realm of thing, the only, and I know you've seen this a million times, right? But sometimes when you see something a million times, you negate it, don't trust it, don't see it, or don't want to see it, is that all there is love. So if you are uh, made of love and everything that is love has some kind of expression of it, you can't be in a space where nothing isn't love. Does that make sense? So when you are the universe looking down at itself, which you are an expression of the universe, you are the universe expressing through you, expressing through you. You are the universe expressing through you. Let's hear that again. You are the universe looking back at itself. You are the universe being fully, fully a part of seeing how the universe would expect to be in this space. Now, that's where you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, that you're washing your hands, that you're not touching your face like I do a million times, which is one of the hardest things for me to do. But I'm also quarantined at home, so um, yeah, I don't think I have the virus. And we do have our homemade sanitizer. So doing your part in the oneness, seeing who you are, observing the observer. I like that. That's beautiful, Lazara. That's exactly right. Because that's exactly what we're doing. And let's talk about the power that that has. Let's just for a moment, even if you want to like have the idea that like just set aside resistance to that idea. Just let that be with you here, but let's like walk forward and say, set it aside and say, if I am the observer, if I'm observing the observer, if I am the universe, how much power do you have? If you're observing the universe and you are the universe, that there is no separation between you and everything that is, this is where we're always gotten, right? This is what we've been talking about this whole time. How in control of your life can you be? Watching, relating, and getting your hands dirty. So I want you to think about this in your life. You are the cultivator. You cultivate via your thoughts and actions and your words and how you're going to express into your life and what you will heal and what you will and how it will affect those around you. You cultivate it. So what I want to encourage you to think about as well on this is that your observation of who you are is the highest that it possibly can be. That you try and see yourself in this stream of reality that gives you the love you need, the space you need, and challenges you to see life in a different way. So what I always ask is that you just are willing to be willing to be willing. You don't have to like make huge changes, just be willing to be willing. Just willing to be willing to be willing, and that can move a lot within you. I hope that makes sense. Um, okay, what else? Um, okay, it's funny. I think somebody was asking me if I was ever going to talk to you guys earlier because I was having such a hard time. Sarah, I was going back to work with teenagers through sport with self-confidence, finding your voice, thinking about your choices they're making. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So, I know I got to tell you what it would have been. I've moved into my house at this side of my house. This Saturday would have been the Celine Middle School Earth Elements Expo that was going to be to hopefully 800 people. My goal this year is to do a group reading to 1,000 people. So yeah, I was looking for her. So if you know of any other venues or spots, I know of some mediums who can use them. I know that there are a lot of, it's funny because I've tried to go into a couple of different places and a couple in Howell, and they were like, we don't like mediums, and a couple in, a couple in different areas, and no restaurants and things like that. But people are not very wanting of publicly to be with, to promote mediums, but privately. So let's really think about that. So if you have a space or know of somebody who has a space, whether it be a restaurant, a hall, anything like that, I would love to have a conversation with you about it. I don't think Karen is still here, but I'll find her. I want to thank you so much because I want you, like in this small moment, I hope there was some sort of some sort of relief as everything was acting a little squirrely. It just everything acts squirrely. You just have to move with it and not be forceful with it. Because when you're forceful with it, you then create this stage of resistance, and these resistance to, it could make, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm going to continue doing this. That's a not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it could, if I wasn't allowing it, and the difficulties sometimes getting on, I dig it. I dig doing this. I'm glad I'm here, and I think I'm going to be doing this over the weekends as well. Because really, what is a Saturday? No, it's Saturday. Um, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. And if you haven't done your meditation, definitely do your meditation and see light, be light. And I will maybe check in with you tomorrow and maybe on Monday. So I will talk with you later. Ciao. Bye. Oh, too many computers, man. That's what's going on right now.